Hello, and welcome to the Football Parliament podcast. Welcome to Parliament Shorts, where I, Palash Modi, am going to be reacting to the Three Lions 26-man squad. A lot of topics for discussion, a lot of topics for debate, especially with the inclusion of as many as four right backs, the exclusion of the seven players who failed to make the final cut. Some very honourable names in there with Jesse Lingard, Mason Greenwood, James Ward-Prowse, and more. I'm also going to be giving my views on how England could line up and what formation would Southgate use in 10 days' time from now. So, starting with the squad. Oh, also before starting, I would just like take 10 seconds away to ask you all to give this channel a subscribe. It would mean a lot to all of us. Nevertheless, let's start with the news of four right backs being chosen. Uh, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, Kieran Trippier, Kyle Walker. Now, generally, in a 26-man squad, the maximum number of players that you would choose that would have only one representative in the starting 11, which is the case for the right back position, would be two, or for maximum capacities three. But England, due to the overload of right backs that they have in their ranks, have chosen as many as four, and truly all four of them are world class right backs. But then the question arises, does Southgate even need the four right backs? Well, the way I can see this is that I can see two situations coming up. The first one is that England might be planning to play a five at the back. Well, in the five at the back, uh, England have a lack of depth in the centre back position, especially with the fitness doubts of Harry Maguire. So you could assume something like John Stones and Connor Cody. Stones, who is a good defender, Cody, who plays in a three at the back system, could be accompanied by either Kyle Walker or Reece James, who both can play as the right sided centre back with another wing back. So this makes two representatives from predominantly right back players into the starting 11, if not three at the back. If you consider a four at the back formation, which could be possible according to me, only if Harry Maguire is fit. I will get to that part further ahead. In such a case, I would assume a 4-3-3, a flat midfield with a sole DM and two number 8s. And I can see Gareth Southgate playing either of Kieran Trippier or Kyle Walker as the right back, which is their preferred position, and either of Trent Alexander Arnold or Reece James as a right-sided number 8 in a flat midfield 3. This was also touched upon by the manager in his press conference, where he spoke about the versatility that Alexander Arnold and James do offer, and the fact that they can play in the midfield. But then another big question that arises is that if Southgate is planning to play, say, Trent Alexander Arnold in a midfield 3, is Alexander Arnold a better number 8 than the players that he has left out from the 33 altogether or from the 28? Especially one name that I would like to highlight is of James Ward-Prowse, who also holds the Premier League record for playing two seasons consecutively, each and every single match, which is what 76 consecutive PL matches across the two seasons. He is an extremely good set piece taker. Would be correct to call him a set piece specialist, but his overall gameplay is also very underrated, according to me. So, dropping James Ward-Prowse and bringing in Trent Alexander-Arnold to play as in number 8, does that make a lot of sense to you? It did make to Gareth, but it does not to me. Looking at the squad in whole, starting with the goalkeepers, Dean Henderson, Sam Johnston, my bad, and Jordan Pickford. The exclusion over here was Aaron Ramsdale from the 33-man squad, but the bigger exclusion is Nick Pope, who, in my opinion, who deserved to be, in my opinion, the starting number one spot for the goalkeeper. Nevertheless, due to injury, he is excluded. If you see the centre backs, uh, the big question mark is on the fitness of a certain Harry Maguire, who, according to me, is one of the most important players in the three-line squad due to the lack of depth in centre back position. Now, if you'd say that, okay, they've got Tyrone Mings, they've got Connor Cody, John Stones, etc. Are they not good enough? Well, a back four, if England do plan to play a back four, something that many English fans wish to see, a back four with John Stones and say Connor Cody. Do you think that's a good enough centre back pairing? Well, Connor Cody has been part of a back three all season. He is accustomed to that situation. And the only times when Wolves were forced to shift to a back four, Cody did not look very comfortable. I don't think he's the best centre back in the back four. You look at Tyrone Mings. Do you think a centre back duo of John Stones and Tyrone Mings is good enough to win you the Euros? Well, most definitely not. This is where the question of Harry Maguire's fitness does come in. I'm clueless about how fit he is. Will he be able to make it to the Euros? And even Gareth Southgate himself said in his press conference that he is unsure because he will not be able to comment until he sees the centre back play. So for this reason, I'm going to be drafting two completely different 11s, which some people might find very astonishing that how a single player can, change the entire system that a team plays with. I most definitely think that is the case with Harry Maguire and his importance to this English team. I do not see England playing, especially in the bigger games, a back four without Harry Maguire. I think they will reward 2-3 at the back. The two benefits that you do get with three at the back. The first one is that Connor Cody, he's quite a good defender, natural leader, but he plays particularly well in a back five system. And the second, that Reece James slash Kyle Walker can both slot in at the right centre back position. Also, Kieran Trippier slash Trent Alexander-Arnold are great wing backs. Both are great crossers of the ball. They've got 7 and 8 assists in league this season, respectively. Moving on to the midfield, I think that if England do play, a three at the back, they will play a flat midfield two pivot of two number eights. Here, I think is England's second most important player in Declan Rice. Jordan Henderson is still unsure with his injury concern. So is the case with Calvin Phillips. I think that Declan Rice is currently one of England's most indispensable assets, especially because England do lack a bit of depth. In the center midfield position as well, especially in those defense-minded or box-to-box midfielders, not necessarily in the offensive midfield part. So Declan Rice, along with Mason Mount, is the pivot that I would like to see. People would say that Mason Mount has been a lot more adventurous for Chelsea. He's played as a cam, he's played as a right-sided cam, but to be honest, he's also played as a number 8 quite well under Frank Lampard. He has played a few games in the midfield too, under Thomas Tuchel. I wouldn't say that he's been extremely impressive, but in those particular games, he's played in the midfield pivot too as a double six. But he is an extremely versatile player. He has got the momentum by his side, currently the champion of Europe, and both of them will also have great chemistry, Rice and Mount. So this is the midfield pivot that I would like to see. If England opt for a flat midfield three, it's again going to be Declan Rice as the sole DM, along with Mason Mount as one number 8. And the second number 8, I would really like to see Jude Bellingham in there. I repeat, I do not think that Trent Alexander-Arnold is I wouldn't say that he's not a good choice at midfield. I would say that he's a big risk, a big gamble in the midfield position. After the Euros, say England win it, you'd come back to this video. This might go down as one of the worst predictions of all time, where I'm saying that he's not good in midfield, but it most definitely is a gamble, and it's a fact you can't take away. So will Southgate be willing to take this gamble? Let's see. For now, I will slot him as the second number 8. If not him, Jude Bellingham, as I said, is one player I would really, really like to see. The front line, Harry Kane is the nailed-on starter, and according to me, as I said, the three most important players in my team, the players that England are kind of basing the squad around, is Harry Maguire, Declan Rice, and finally Harry Kane. The two wingers to support him. This is one position where England have a lot of depth, converse to something like a centre back. So the two wingers could be Marcus Rashford on the left with Jadon Sancho to the right. It can also be something like Jack Grealish to his left with Phil Foden to his right. Raheem Sterling looking at his current run of form, and Bukayo Saka looking at relatively inexperienced in comparison to the other players, are unlikely to start. But also touching upon Bukayo Saka, if England do plan to play a back three, with wing backs, Bukayo Saka is actually quite good as a left wing back. Now, left wing back is a position where England will have majorly three contenders with Luke Shaw, Ben Chilwell, and also the additional Bukayo Saka, who has played at left wing back quite good, I must say. Now the thing is that Manchester United, which is play with the back four. So is Luke Shaw accustomed? Is he used to playing as left wing back? I remember once that they played Paris Saint-Germain and used three at the back. Luke Shaw rather slotted into the left-sided centre back instead of the left wing back. Ben Chilwell is in a great run of form with Chelsea, especially defensively, and is currently, as I said, the UCL winner. He is playing at left wing back, so this also opens a bit of door for competition at the left-sided fullback or wing back position, with Bukayo Saka in there as well. So this is how England's starting 11 would look like according to me. The changes that I would have made to this 26-month squad. Firstly, I would have opted for the goalkeepers are pretty nailed on because of the absence of Nick Pope. In defense, I would have gone for this is extremely unpopular, and I don't see many people agreeing with this one. But I would have gone for Ben White instead of Tyrone Mings. I think that the fact that White can play very well, he's quite good on the ball. He can play quite well as defensive mid as well. So yeah, Ben White is one player that I would like to see in. But Tyrone Mings, I don't think is the best of centre backs. The fact that he is left-footed helps his cause a lot. So yeah, this is one minor change that I would have made. With four right backs, I was never a fan of this. I would have definitely dropped one of them. And I'm sorry to all these English fans who are out there, but Trent Alexander-Arnold deserved to be dropped according to their performances this season. I don't care how good or how many chances he's created or how good he was in crossing the ball. See, the thing is that Reece James, he's been great for Chelsea. Kieran Trippier, many people don't rate Kieran Trippier a lot, especially English fans, because they haven't seen a lot of the La Liga. I personally haven't seen a lot of La Liga as well, apart from Atletico Madrid matches. Atletico Madrid are one team that I have been supporting in La Liga. I wouldn't say supporting, I would have been, you can say, backing in La Liga. So I have seen quite many of their matches as well. So Kieran Trippier, as much as I've seen, has been quite quite impressive. I just got a few of his stats as well. He's actually got more number of assists than all of the other players mentioned. Obviously, something like assists don't exactly tell you the entire story. But as a wing back, I personally feel that Kieran Trippier is superior to the other options here. Talking about Reece James, he's been great. So has been Kyle Walker. Now Trent Alexander-Arnold is one that I expected to drop out due to the excess competition. Is it the media criticism pressure that has piled upon Gareth Southgate, which has led to him to include Trent Alexander-Arnold? That most certainly can be the case. I don't have any reports which state the same, but this can definitely be a factor. We all saw how the English media did back Trent Alexander-Arnold and were actually against Kieran Trippier, which quite honestly surprised me a lot because at the end of the day, a right back needs to be that good defensively as well. And just a few good defensive stats have definitely misleading people thinking that Trent is as good as say a Kyle Walker or a Reece James defensively because that is just not the case. Kieran Trippier, if you look at his defensive stats, his stats going ahead, all of them are so good. He's playing on the the best defensive